Yo, what's up guys? S-Future here. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're doing a Beartooth album tier list. If you guys are new to my channel, so far I have done this exact type of video on a couple bands. I did this with Bull for My Valentine, Asking Alexandria, Of Mice and Men, and Motionless in White. Now we are on to my 5th time doing this video with another one of my favorite bands, Beartooth. I was debating whether to do this video on Beartooth or not because they only have 5 albums, but I really love Beartooth, and since they just came out with their most recent album last year, it's going to be a while for them to come out with another album, so I wanted to do this now. If you guys haven't seen one of these videos from me before, basically how this works is we will go through Beartooth's discography from their very first album to their most recent album, and we will talk about each album a little bit, and then we will place them in a category. We have 5 categories ranking from perfect, great, good, bad, and horrible. I am a huge Beartooth fan, so I am a little biased, so you guys will also let me know down in the comments where you guys would rank these albums and whether you guys disagree with me or agree with me. So without further ado, let's go.
Life just sucks when all you know is the bottom. It's not your choice, there's no escaping it.
Yeah, Disgusting, their debut album, one of the best debut albums in metalcore. I didn't used to love this album all too much, like I liked it, but it wasn't up until recently that I really started loving the songs up on the album. This album is super fucking heavy. I'd say this is probably their heaviest album. That happens a lot with bands. Their debut albums are usually super heavy. The production isn't the greatest on this album for a debut album. I mean, I know Caleb, I believe Caleb did the mixing and mastering on this album. I know he does it on their latest 2 records, Below and The Surface, but I don't know if he did it on their first 3 albums or not. You guys can let me know. But yeah, this album is super heavy, super good. A lot of screaming, not as much singing from Caleb. I mean, their biggest song is on this album, so that speaks for the album. In Between is their biggest song, and it's on this album. And there's incredible songs on this album in general. I mean, every song I really enjoy. The outro, Sick and Disgusting, it's a cool experience, but I don't listen to that song just because it's so all over the place, and I get it's an emotional kind of crazy song, and it's good music. I don't listen to it just because it's just all over the place. But yeah, Disgusting is a super good debut album. I'm gonna put it in great. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in great. Next up for their second album, we have Aggressive. On this album, Caleb started doing a little bit more singing than he did on Disgusting. There was more of a balance between singing and screaming on this album than there was on Disgusting. I like the artwork a lot for the Aggressive album. The title track is an awesome-ass title track. One of my favorite choruses from them. Hated is one of my favorite songs from them. Loser isn't very memorable. Fairweather Friend is a really cool song. Burnout's not very memorable. Sick of Me is not very memorable. Censored's not very memorable. Always Dead's pretty good. However You Want It Said's not very memorable. Find a Way is really good. Rock is Dead is really good. And King of Anything is super fucking awesome. So yeah, the Aggressive album, it's good, but like I said, the way I describe it is it's not crazy memorable as an album. So with that being said, I'm going to put it in the good category. Next up for their third album, Disease. With Disease, they really jumped up in production on this album. I think in between the Aggressive album and the writing process for Disease, Caleb really stepped up his game with mixing. This album has a lot better of production on it. Greatness or Death is an incredible intro song. Disease, yeah. Fun fact, I've been to Hot Topic. This is really random, but I've been to Hot Topic like 3 times in the last month or 2, like 2 months with my girlfriend. And all 3 times I've went there, the title track Disease was playing each time I went there, that's a weird ass coincidence. Fire's really good, not very memorable. You Never Know's good, but not very memorable. Bad Listener is one of my favorite Beartooth songs. After All is incredible. Manipulation isn't that memorable. Enemies not very memorable. Believe's not very memorable. Infection is really good. Used and Abused is really good. And I really like Clever as well. I really like the Disease album. I think I like it just a little bit more than Aggressive. Aggressive has bigger hits in my opinion, but I think Disease overall is just a better cohesive album. And the production's just better. It is a little bit more generic though, so I'm going to put Disease in good in front of Aggressive. We only have 2 albums left. Their most 2 recent albums. I really struggle with what my favorite Beartooth album is between these 2. A lot of people say Disgusting is their favorite Beartooth album, but it's between Below and The Surface for me. If you look at the track list, Below is a super fucking awesome intro to an album. One of my favorite Beartooth songs. Devastation, one of my favorite Beartooth songs. Devastation was probably my favorite song that they played live when I saw them live a couple years ago. The Past is Dead is awesome. Fed Up is really good, but kind of like a filler song. Dominates, one of their heaviest songs. No Return's really good. Phantom Pain is really experimental and cool, but kind of like a filler song. Skin is emotional, very good song. Hell of It, I like it a lot. It's one of those fun songs. I Won't Give It Up is emotional lyrically is what I'm trying to say. The Answer is really good, and The Last Riff is such a unique and cool outro to an album. I like every song on this album, like I really love it, but I think comparing it to The Surface, it just has a little bit more filler in it, which is honestly one of the reasons I actually kind of prefer it to The Surface. It's a longer album, and it just has more meat in it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put Below in perfect. And then we're going to move on to The Surface. I prefer the title track of Below. Second song is Riptide, super fun. This was like the turning point for their new uplifting, motivational style with this album. It was the first single for the album. Doubt Me, really cool. The Better Me, super unique and fun. Such a cool song. Also, I reacted to this whole album. If you guys want to see my reaction to this album, I did a full album reaction to it. I reacted to all of the singles. So if you guys want to go find my Beartooth reactions, just go onto my channel, and there's actually a little search bar, and just put in Beartooth, and it will show you all of my Beartooth reactions. Might Love Myself is one of my favorite Beartooth songs. Sunshine's really good. This album has no filler, in my opinion. And I feel like that's the difference between this album and Below. Below has like 2 kind of filler songs. That doesn't mean they're bad songs, but they're just a little underwhelming in terms of an album. But this album just has 0 filler. The Surface is my favorite Beartooth album, I think. So I'm going to put it in perfect in front of Below. So viewing this tier list, we got in the perfect category, The Surface, then Below. In the great category, we got Disgusting all on its own. I'm kind of wondering whether I should put Disgusting in perfect or not. I don't know. I think I'll leave it in great. In the good category, we got Disease in front of Aggressive. I almost feel like I could put Disease in great. Yeah, I think I could. I'm going to move that, actually. I think this is the first time I've actually moved an album in one of these videos. I'm going to put Disease in the great category. I really like it. Alright guys, this was my Beartooth discography ranking. I really flew through this. I just didn't have a lot to say about these albums. I just, they're really fresh on my mind, so I just kind of knew where I wanted to put them, really. Let me know where you guys would put these albums if you were to do a tier list, or better yet, if you go down in the description, I will have a link to this tier list down in the description, so you guys can go do this tier list yourself. And once you've done it, send me a picture on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram in the description, or join our Discord server and share your tier list with us, and we'll talk about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for future tier list videos. Like I said earlier, I've done this type of video on a couple bands now, and I plan on doing more of them. I think the next artist I'm actually going to do one of these on NF, who is a rapper, if you guys don't know him. But let me know down in the comments what artists or bands you guys would like to see me do this type of video on. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the future.